you're looking to expand your network, you need to know how to romance those in power. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to be talking about 7 books that have impacted my life. Now, to get straight into it, the first one is Awaken the Giant Within. And I actually got this book in 1996. And there are a few ways that this book inspired me. First one was it developed my love for quotations. This book is littered with quotations that actually inspire and motivate you. It also helps you with changing your mindset. You know, we all have negative self-belief, and this actually has a chapter where it actually takes you through how to change that belief. So instead of saying I can't, you need to obviously say you can, and so many other things. It also talks about goal setting, the importance of looking ahead and setting goals. So a bit like reverse engineering. So you look at where you want to be and then develop a system, the practice of setting goals. Remember, goals are like a muscle. The more you set goals, the more familiar and easier it becomes. So the second book, What Color is Your Parachute? Now, this is a book I got a while back now, actually. It's a 2001 edition. So I got this book over 20 years ago, and at the time I was thinking about a career change. I'm a qualified accountant and I was looking to pivot into something else, and this book actually helps you. There's a flower diagram that you talk, so it's looking at your values, your skills, hobbies, other things of interest, and it helps you to see how you can pivot, i.e. change something about your job, almost like bit by bit, so that you can then find your way into what it is you like doing. So quick example, like I said, studies as an accountant, but also love reading, love writing, and love talking and training people and disseminating information. So I was able to get a job as an accountant that trained others, wrote newsletters, coached, and all of that. So great book if you're thinking about a career change. Excellent book, and they still do them now. So I'll put a link down below. So if you wanted to get a copy, 2023 copy, it's available on Amazon. Now, the next book I'm going to be talking about is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, I bought this book, I think, on Amazon, and it's one of the first things I bought on Amazon, and I actually left a review, which I might share here and there. So this book obviously opened my eyes to how you can make money. So not just as an employee, but through other means. So whether that's setting up a business, investing, probably shares, property, helps you identify other ways of making money. So multiple sources of income, and also passive income. Obviously passive, you need to do the work in the initial stages and then reap those returns. But it's just making your money. It's about making your money work for you rather than you doing the work. So this is a great book if you haven't read it yet. So the fourth one is The E-Myth, E-Myth Revisited. Now, this is a great book. So if you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and you're thinking about setting up a business, this actually helps you understand. You've just got yourself another job. Only the difference is this time with your job, you're doing all the sales and marketing, you're looking after the clients, you're doing all your admin, everything. The buck starts and stops with you. Whereas if you had a job, at least all of those are taken care of by your company. So this book is about putting systems in place to make sure that you're working on the business. So if you were an accountant, you can still set up an accounting practice, but you don't need to do the work. You just plug people in there to do the work. So you have an idea of what that business would look like, and you manage the business by putting people in there. Obviously, it might take a few extra pounds to start it up from scratch, but the idea is that once you start up this business, you're able to run it independent of you, and that's attractive because that means you can actually sell the business. If you're too tied into the business, it will be difficult for the business to be sold because you would have to be there doing the work. So this is a great book for business models. And of course, if you do delegate the work, it's not delegate and forget. You still need to make sure that you're keeping things ticking along. Otherwise, if it falls apart, it's on you. But your main job is to be the visionary and direct the organization, the resources, i.e. the people, the money. The next book I'm going to be talking about is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This was actually a gift from a previous boss. So see, habits are very important if you want to be effective. I said successful, but successful, effective, same difference, right? So there are 2 that stand out for me. One is sharpen the saw. And this is about making sure that you are prepared. You are keeping your skills, your knowledge updated. No matter what industry you're in, we've all heard of VUCA. Things are changing. It's volatile. There's a lot of uncertainty around. So you need to be keeping abreast of things. So that doesn't even mean listening to the news, maybe a newsletter, even going on YouTube, taking a short course online. There's so many courses you can take. So it's about keeping yourself updated about what's going on in your industry, in the world. You know, the brain, if it's not used, it dies. So use it or lose it. The second one it talks about is starting with the end in sight. And this again goes back to planning. You always have to have something that you're working towards, and then try and reverse engineer. I.e. think of, this is where I want to be in 5 years' time. What steps can I take now to ensure I get there? So it's pretty much that. So I think it's a great book. So the next one I'll be talking about is the 48 Laws of Power. And anyway, what I got from this book is, if you're looking to expand your network, you need to know how to romance those in power. I don't mean it that way. What I mean is trying to understand them, the way they think, the way where you can meet them, how you can network with them, and just try to be of value. So if you're asking someone to help you or do something for you, what have you got to offer? Because everybody needs help, no matter what. And even if you're not able to do something for them, come across as somebody who's achieved quite a bit and you're just looking for some help or guidance. But don't go there and ask people, I need this from you. Tell them what you've achieved so far and how they can help you. I've used this to get most of the jobs. I lecture at a university, and the jobs I got, I did it by networking. So networking is very important. It's taking me to places I can't even dream of. So networking is key, but you need to understand people, understand where they are, the kind of conversations you have with them. Important. Anyway, the final book, and this is my book, Unleash Your Business Mojo. So in this book, obviously based on my years of experience, a qualified accountant, working with businesses as a coach, supporting them, running so many training programs, I was able to understand some of the things that businesses need. And it's the kind of book I would have loved to have read when I was starting my own business. So I talk about idea generation, I talk about analyzing your strengths, your weaknesses, seeing where you might need help, and then setting up the business. What are some of the key things you need to do? Identifying your target audience, networking, setting goals, 12-month goals, 3-month goals, and the goals or the task you need to start out now, and have an overarching plan. So all of that is in this book, and all the books I've talked about today are with all the links. So if you feel that any of those books have resonated with you, do pop along to Amazon and get yourself a copy. Now, if you have read any of these books and you have something to share, or you have a comment, or you feel a certain way about any of the books I've mentioned, please leave a comment below. Come on, get involved in the conversation. I feel like a radio. I'm not a radio. This is a two-way conversation. So please talk to me. I'll see you again next week. Take care and be bold.